Look in the mirror, right now. The person looking back at you. Who is that? If I took away your name, who would you be? If I took away your job title, your bank account balance, and your reputation, what would be left? If I erased every memory of your past, where would that self you are clinging to actually be? We spend our entire lives building a character. We polish it with success. We defend it with our ego. And then one day, in a moment of terrifying silence, we realize a brutal truth. We don't know who the actor behind the mask actually is. Do you feel it? That deep existential exhaustion? I am not talking about being tired from a long day at work. I am talking about the exhaustion of pretending. The fatigue of constantly having to be someone, pretending that you are fine, pretending that you are important, pretending that you will live forever. But deep down, there is a fear that gnaws at you in the middle of the night. The fear that you are small, that you are just a speck of dust, and that one day you will vanish, and the universe won't even notice. Today, we are going to face that fear, not with blind faith, but with the cold logic of science, the depth of psychology, and the oldest wisdom of humanity. The answer I am about to give you might make you shiver, but it is the only key that will ever unlock true peace. Let's start with the thing you trust the most, your body. You think you are a solid entity, separate from the world around you, don't you? You think, I am inside this skin, and the world is out there. That is the single greatest optical illusion of your life. If we looked at your hand under a powerful quantum microscope, we would see cells go deeper, and we see molecules, deeper still, atoms. And here is the shocking truth of modern physics. An atom is 99.9999% empty space. Picture this. If the nucleus of an atom were the size of a basketball sitting in the middle of a massive stadium, the electrons orbiting it would be like tiny specks of dust in the furthest row of seats. And what is in between them? Nothing. Empty space. The void. Your body, the chair you are sitting on, the person you love. Fundamentally, you are mostly empty space. So what creates the feeling of solidity? It is energy. It is vibration. You are not matter. You are a field of energy, dancing. Every breath you take right now contains billions of atoms that once belonged to stars that exploded billions of years ago. The water flowing in your veins was once the clouds of prehistoric times. You are trading energy with the universe every single millisecond. Quantum physics calls this entanglement. There is no separation. There is no such thing as an independent individual. You are not a drop of water trying to survive in a desert. You are the desert. You are the ocean. So if you are the universe, why do you feel so lonely? Why do you feel so small? Because you have been hypnotized. From the moment you were born, society taught you to play a survival game. The game is called becoming somebody. They gave you a name. They taught you to distinguish mine from yours. They taught you to win, to possess, to defend. To play this game, you had to create an avatar. The great psychologist Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask. You wear the mask of the successful one, the good mother, or the strong provider. But to make that mask shine, what did you have to do? You had to slice off the parts of yourself that didn't fit. You hid your weakness. You repressed your rage. You denied your secret desires. You shoved all of them into a black bag and threw it into the basement of your mind. Jung called that bag the shadow. And this is the cause of your exhaustion. You are using one hand to hold up the mask so it doesn't slip, and you are using the other hand to push the shadow down so it doesn't explode. You have no hands left to embrace life. The anxiety you feel is not a disease. It is the shadow screaming. It wants to be seen. It wants to come home. Your depression is not weakness. It is your soul saying, I am tired. I don't want to play this role anymore. You are suffering because you think you are the mask. You are terrified that if you drop the mask, you will be nothing. You will die. But there is a story, a metaphor from the ancient East that cures this fear instantly. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine a vast, deep blue ocean. On the surface, there is a young wave. This young wave is strong, rising high, with beautiful white foam. He is very proud of his size. But then, he looks ahead. He sees other waves crashing into the shore and disappearing. Terror strikes him. He starts to tremble. My God, he thinks. I am going to crash. I am going to vanish. I will cease to exist. Just then, he sees an old wave drifting calmly beside him. The old wave looks peaceful, even though he is also moving toward the shore. The young wave screams at him, How can you be so calm? Don't you see? We are going to crash. We are going to die. My beautiful form will be gone. It's a tragedy. The old wave smiles, looking at the young wave with deep compassion, and says, My dear boy, you are suffering because you have forgotten one simple thing. Forgotten what? The young wave cries. Look at my doom. The old wave whispers, You are not a wave. The young wave is confused. What are you talking about? Of course I am a wave. I have a crest. I have foam. I am moving. The old wave replies, That is just your temporary form. You are water. Look deep inside yourself. When you rise, you are water. When you fall, you are water. When you were born, you were water. And when you crash into the shore, you are still water. The wave comes and goes, but the water is eternal. In that moment, the young wave wakes up. The fear of death vanishes instantly. He realizes that hitting the shore is not the end. It is a homecoming. He is returning to the source. For the first time, he can enjoy rising high, and he can enjoy crashing down, because he knows he is safe. My friend, you are suffering because you think you are the young wave. You think you are this name, this body, this career. You are afraid of aging. You are afraid of failure. You are afraid of death. That is because you have forgotten that you are water. Science calls you energy. Psychology calls you the whole self. The awakened ones call you the eternal life force. It all points to one absolute truth. You are not a drop of water trying to survive. You are the ocean experiencing itself as a drop. So, how do you live with this truth in your noisy, modern life? You do not need to stop being a wave. You still work, you still love, you still strive. But the energy shifts. Practice being the observer. When sadness comes, don't say, I am sad. Say, I see a wave of sadness passing through. When failure comes, don't say, I am a failure. Say, this is a rough wave, and it will return to the ocean. You are the space that holds these feelings. You are not the feelings themselves. Stop tightening the mask. Allow yourself to be weak sometimes. Allow yourself to be wrong. Your shadow is not as evil as you think. When you stop fighting it, that dark energy transforms into peace. And finally, live without fear. When you know you are water, you are no longer afraid of loss. You dare to love more because you cannot be broken. You dare to give more because your source is infinite. You dare to be your authentic self because you no longer need the approval of other waves to feel like you exist. Take a deep breath. Feel the life force humming in your body right now. That is not just your life. That is the life of the universe, borrowing your form to take a breath. You are not alone. You have never been alone. You are connected to everything that is, was, and ever will be. Do not fear the dark. You are the light. Welcome home.